Hello and welcome to Prague, Czech Republic. I guess there's no need to explain on what's going on in the world right now. We're each experiencing it in a bit different way. Each country, each state has maybe a different restrictions. The restrictions here as of right now are that there's a travel ban on incoming foreigners into Czech Republic, and we as Czechs cannot travel abroad. And the trips out of your home are only for the ones that do their work, or if you're going to shop, to groceries or pharmacies, and so on. Most of the shops are closed, all the restaurants are closed, and so on. The sight of Prague is something that we have never seen in our entire lives. The tourists have disappeared like this. And so this is what Prague looks like right now. We're at the entrance to the Prague Castle, where there's usually guards guarding it. And not only the guards are missing, but the thousands of tourists that are here every day visiting the site, they're all gone. Interestingly enough, the first store that we found opened is a weed shop, which looks a bit odd because suddenly with the absence of tourists, it just seems awkward. They do sell some food and groceries. That's, I suppose, why they remained open. But there's another store just across the street that in this optics is really funny to see it, because this is the non-touristy shop that sells the goods for half the price, yet the weed shop sells it for double or triple the price. And to see this context without tourists is really interesting. This will be my very rough estimate, but almost 90% of all the restaurants, coffee places are closed. There are some exceptions where you can do a takeout, where basically they just hand you over the window coffee, or around the corner there's a kebab place. So some of those are still in operation. Another extremely popular tourist destination is the John Lennon Wall in Prague, where normally you wait in line to get a picture. Nowadays, it's a ghost town. Another impressive sight in the city center as of right now are these Lime bikes that were heavily used by tourists, but since they're gone, these are now just left over. I know only very few locals that use them, mainly because of the price and because of the discomfort on the cobblestone. So as of right now, they almost look like the Ferris wheel in Pripyat that symbolized something that was fun, but now it's just abandoned, and it somehow is scary. A slightly different approach to ride sharing or micro-mobility, as you wish, was taken by this company that has made their service possible for free for the next 2 weeks. Basically what they're aiming at is to make people use individual transport rather than the mass transport. And now this is what the Charles Bridge looks like. Maybe you were able to see it like this very early in the morning. but right now it's 1 p.m. The only tourists we saw so far, we always ask them where they're from, and so far all of them were from Russia. We even saw a tour guide that was actually giving a tour to a small group, so that was quite interesting. Other than that, it's usually really people going from A to B, meaning from work or to shop. The astronomical clock at 2 p.m. There's about 25 people, what I counted. Most of them leftover tourists, and they're having a sight that they may never see again. Who knows, but definitely they have never seen before. At a first glance, nothing's unusual here, but through my eyes, it is very, very different. These parking spots used to serve as illegal taxi stands for crooked taxi drivers that only aimed at tourists and overcharged them for their rides. Now, since the tourists are gone, so are the crooked taxi drivers. And this serves its original purpose, which is residents parking. We're on the busiest tram line there is in Prague. This is number 22, where as of right now, by the order of mayor, in all of public transport, you need to cover your mouth and nose with anything possible. The public transport has also posted little stickers on every door so people will know. We have moved from the historical part of Prague to a different district. This is Anděl, that is actually very busy normally, but you can see that even here the effects are quite visible of the current situation. But it is more lively here. There's more offices, there's more shopping malls, grocery stores that remain open, even though most people have home offices, so they don't leave their apartments, or if they do, they wear masks. Also, many people live in this area, unlike in the historical center that we just showed you, and people who actually own apartments were usually renting them on Airbnb, which now has changed, and many of them are offering the apartments on regular listings, usually noting only for 1 or 2 months, depending on the situation, that nobody really knows how it's gonna develop. Because this is not only a Prague or Czech Republic advice, but global advice. Wear your mask, wash your hands, try to stay home if possible, and be safe in general. Our job is to walk around the city of Prague and entertain you. We're gonna skip the first part, but we're gonna stick to the other one, and we will keep on entertaining you, or we'll do our best at it. So we will bring you episodes of The Honest Guide, and we will try to film them at our homes. And finally, we will make Honza cook some Czech dishes. How about that, Honzi? I have a huge smile on my face, and I hope you do too. That's it from us. Honza behind the camera, Janek talking through a mask. We'll see you next week. And a Czech word at the end, úsměv, smile. Úsměv. See the difference?